Hi, Xander. It's been a couple of weeks. I'm sorry. We forgot to do one last week, so we're going to do one tonight. It's called The Tale of Squirrel Nutkin by Beatrix Potter. This is a tale about a tale that belonged to a little red squirrel named Nutkin. He lived with his brother Twinkleberry and a great many cousins in a wood at the edge of a lake. In the middle of the lake, on an island covered with nut bushes, stood a hollow oak tree, the house of Old Brown the owl. One autumn, the squirrels made little rafts out of twigs. Each squirrel spread out his tail for a sail as they paddled to Owl Island to gather nuts. Twinkleberry and the other squirrels took an offering of 3 fat mice as a present for Old Brown. They bowed politely. "Old Mr. Brown, will you please give us permission to gather nuts on your island?" But Nutkin, who didn't have nice manners. Whoops, I missed it. No? Sorry. But Nutkin, who didn't have nice manners, bobbed and sang, riddle me, rat-tat-tote. A little wee man in a red coat, a staff in his hand and a stone in his throat. If you tell me this riddle, I'll give you a goat." But Mr. Brown paid no attention to Nutkin. He shut his eyes and went to sleep. The squirrels filled their sacks with nuts and sailed home. Next morning, Twinkleberry and the others returned with a fine fat mole for Old Brown. "May we please gather more nuts?" they said. But Nutkin just danced and tickled old Mr. Brown, who shut the door in Nutkin's face. Nutkin sang through the keyhole, "A house full, a hole full, and you can't gather a bowl full." While the others filled their sack with nuts, Nutkin played marbles. See, the rabbits enjoying the story too. The third day, Twinkleberry and 6 little squirrels each carried a fat minnow for Old Brown. But not Nutkin. He riddled a song. "The man in the wilderness said to me, 'How many strawberries grow in the sea?' I answered him, as I thought good, 'As many red herrings as grow in the wood.'" On the 4th day, the squirrels brought Old Brown 6 fat beetles. 6 fat beetles. Yuck. Yum. But Nutkin sang as rudely as ever, "Put in a bag tied round with a string. If you'll tell me this riddle, I'll give you a ring." Which was ridiculous, for Nutkin had no ring for Old Brown. On the 5th day, the squirrels brought wild honey so sweet that they licked their fingers when they gave it to Old Brown. Then they filled their sack with nuts. But Nutkin sang a riddle. Then he bowled with a crab apple and pine cones. That's some squirrel. On the last day, the squirrels brought a newly laid egg as a farewell gift for Old Brown. Nutkin was worse than ever. With his dancing and his riddles, he made a whirring noise, then took a running jump right onto the head of Old Brown. All at once there was a flutter, a scuffle, and a loud squeak. When the other squirrels peeked around the corner, there was Old Brown, eyes closed as if nothing had happened. But Nutkin was in his coat pocket. This looks like the end of the story, but it isn't. Old Brown carried Nutkin to his house, held him by the tail, intending to skin him, but Nutkin pulled so hard his tail broke in 2. He ran upstairs and escaped out the window. To this day, if you meet Nutkin and ask him a riddle, he will throw sticks at you and shout, "Cuck-cuck-cuck-crack." The end. Willa enjoyed the story. Oscar enjoyed the story. Rabbit enjoyed the story. Hope you enjoyed the story. Good night, Xander. We love you.